I'll probably sip on it just to keep my mouth, not dry, but
Doesn't sound too good.
it does. And it's not. It's not.
Actually, I was having a stressful afternoon. I'm thinking, you know what? Screw this. I got some Jack in the house. I'm gonna pour a little bit in the Coke, and I think that's what gave me my dizzy spell. I'm thinking, oh, this just really isn't doing it. So yeah, I ended up dumping that.
Yeah. Besides that, it's a little chilly here. Windy, sunny though. But everything's
we've
good
got the same thing
here.
going on here. Crap weather.
Yeah.
But actually, today wasn't too bad in the beginning. But,
Yeah.
but I know the nasty white stuff's coming, and I'm dreading every minute of it.
Let's see who we have here today. We have Pinky. Pinky, welcome. We have Laura. We have Wisdom.
Choking.
We have Pomp. Hello, hello.
You got Friday House.
My cat that just woke up and now she's going to bother me.
Miss Sarah's in the house with us.
Yeah, yep. We have Friday. James, welcome. We have, who else do we have?
We got Sam, and Michael Burkeen is lurking about.
Oh, we have Sarah. Welcome, Sarah.
Dragon. Who else do we got?
Oh, God.
Pop is in here as well.
Pop is in here. Yes.
Oh, look, Steve's there too.
Oh, hello, Steve.
I'm glad Steve showed up. Excuse me.
Oh, hello, Wayne. Wayne Dawson.
Sir Wayne, welcome.
Welcome. Well, before any without any, hold up, let's get Steve on here.
All right, let's get it rolling.
Hello,
sir. Good to see you.
Good to see you guys.
I know. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. I'm just trying to make sure that I didn't forget anybody here. No, I think we got everybody.
If you did, just give us a shout out, guys, and we'll yell back at you.
Yes, definitely. Thank you. Well, thank you everybody for joining, and thank you, Steve. So, if everybody doesn't know Steve, he's from Nocturnal Frequency Radio, and he has a fabulous podcast as well, among other hats that he wears. So, Steve, why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hold on, I got to change my hat.
Okay, just take his hat.
Got to put his aluminum foil one on.
Many hats.
Aluminum. Oh my! I've got a few of those. Yeah. I've been investigating the paranormal since 1996. Who is Steve? Right, Wayne, exactly. I've been researching and investigating it since 1996. Formed the Southern Ontario Paranormal Society in 2005, and shortly after that, I started up the radio show Nocturnal Frequency Radio after doing a few gigs of producing for other radio shows based on, believe it or not, one radio show that I absolutely loved when I was in my sort of podcast sort of heaven was a little show called Ghostly Talk. And the reason why I point that at is because here was a group of guys back in 2002 that uploaded their podcast on their own website. And this is when podcasting was like literally nothing. I mean, it was there, but nobody really did it. And shared their experiences, when they went out and investigated a location or whatever else. They sat around this in the basement or the haunted winery, as they called it, and shared their experiences. And then later on expanded and had guests on and so on and so on. And I thought that was such a great avenue to share the love of the paranormal and what it's like to sort of explore it. I mean, things have changed over the years, but I think everybody sort of, interest is, this is amazing. This, there's something truly happening, but what it is, we got to know, and exploring it is the best thing, I think. So yeah, and almost 20 years later with Nocturnal Frequency Radio, we're still here.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
20 years.
yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. So what made you get into podcasting?
Well, I mean, I have a background in film. I worked in film for years, and I worked a little bit behind the scenes in radio, and I produced a few shows back in the day, and just felt like, you know what, I would like to start my own show, and I eventually did, and yeah, here we are.
Wow, that's awesome. Can you tell us a little bit about, so have you had any paranormal experiences as you was growing up? Like what made you actually get into the paranormal?
I had some really weird experiences over the years that, well, are they paranormal? Who knows? But I mean, they were certainly weird. I remember when I was a kid, probably 11 or 12 years old, I remember sleeping and waking up in the middle of the night, and I had to go to the washroom, and I remember turning my nightlight on, and putting my glasses on, and opening my door, and as soon as I opened my door, I just saw this arm just like reaching in the dark, by the frame of the door, and I remember seeing blood on the arm and going, holy shit. What's going on? And I remember slamming my door and sitting down and going, okay, is something going on? And my parent, did something happen to my parents or whatever else? And, everything's going through my mind. And I remember opening my door and bolting from my parents' room. And, Dad, there's somebody in the house, something's going on, and nobody's answering. It's like, okay, wow, something really did happen. And thankfully nothing did, but I'm like, okay, so what did I experience? What was that? And I remember years later doing research and finding out that, somebody had been killed in that particular location years before that. And I'm like, is there a possible link? So, I mean, things like that, that made me wonder, wow, okay, something's going on.
Yeah, that's usually how a lot of people get involved with the paranormal. Like I always had an interest in it. When I first started the paranormal is when the Taps was on TV. There weren't that many shows on TV, but then I really got into it. And then since then, I've had my group for now, 15, 20 years as well. So
yeah. All of us pretty much have a long history. Hey, Steph, how's it going?
Yeah. Hey, Ace, good to see you.
Oh, hi, Ace. Yeah, it's that's scary, like she's even seen the blood and stuff. So it's
yeah,
and
I remember seeing the hairs on his arm. The whole
it freaks you out as a kid.
Very vivid. Yeah.
Yeah, I would have been freaked out by that. But then again, you're thinking, okay. Then when you get older, you're like, okay, what happened? Why did this happen? And then that's how you get into it.
You ask the questions, and you want to know the answers.
Yep.
Exactly. So can you tell us a little bit about your paranormal group, Street?
Absolutely. I have been looking and sort of researching and investigating since 1996, but I felt that, I need to sort of expand my search, and 2005 I decided to form a society called the Southern Ontario Paranormal Society to sort of network with like-minded people who are responsibly looking into the paranormal back then. It's sort of a grassroots sort of approach. We've since then we've been all over the U.S. and all over Canada, several places in Canada, and yeah, it's been an adventure, that's for sure.
What are some of the places that you investigated, and which location would you consider your best out of all of them?
I mean, some of the larger sort of places that we've been to, Waverly Hills Sanitarium and Rolling Hills and Iron Island Museum in Buffalo, New York, and the Shanley Hotel and upstate New York there. And I mean, we've been to several places, but I think one of the most notorious places that we've been doing research at over the years, there's two places, and we don't normally do cemeteries, but an old abandoned pioneer cemetery that yielded some really interesting research and findings have been played such a huge pivotal role in what I do is essentially centering in on infrasound, and how it affects most people will go EVPs, and the fact that where are these coming from and what's producing them, and the fact that maybe perhaps infrasound has something to do with an akashic record, like an archive of sorts of energy that disperses every once in a while. And of course we can't hear infrasound. The human hearing can't hear it, and we need devices to sort of patch into it. I mean, animals. And this is something that we years ago probably had the ability to do, but have lost due to domestication. But I think is a very vital area of research that needs to be looked at a lot more and more seriously. And I do believe science is kind of looking into it and validating the fact that maybe this is exactly where what we're experiencing as what we know as EVPs coming from.
Right. Would you consider that more like an echo, as far as like EVP goes? Because I did the show there. I don't know if you caught it, and of course Friday's going to get me about energy leaving behind some kind of a trail or residue. Do you think that it could be the same for sound?
Well, I mean, energy is infinite. Us here doing this, what we're doing now, is being recorded and played over and over and over into cyberspace, really. So, I mean, yeah, absolutely. Everything that happens on an audio sort of aspect level is recorded and archived automatically, I believe. And when we do capture EVPs and so on, that's just a glimpse into the possibility of capturing firsthand those imprints, if you will. Yes, right. Absolutely.
What when you go on investigations, what certain tools do you use?
I mean, now it's changed over the years, because I mean, we've constantly used, a lot of people will go right for the stuff that trends. Mm-hmm. I always think, a lot of that is just really, really parlor tricks. Not to say that we can't, utilize whatever. I mean, we simply don't know. And people have their, their go-to sort of device, but again, like when I look at the paranormal, when I investigate the paranormal, mine is more audio based. Not to say that we don't employ obviously other tools like tri-field cameras and infrared and so on and so on. I mean, there's all sorts of tools that we use, that we employ, that do capture some interesting sort of aspects or findings that we could possibly call paranormal. Yes.
Are there any evidence that you captured that you feel strongly that it's paranormal?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Audio wise, and even visually, we've captured some stuff over the years that, make a strong statement that, hey, look at, outside of our current understanding, this is what we would consider paranormal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. makes
Now,
sense.
with your background in film and stuff like that, do you believe that it enhances your ability to do a better investigation?
I don't know if it enhances the ability better. I might have a broader knowledge of what to try to employ, but I don't know if it really gives me an advantage. I mean, it depends on what you want to do with it. I mean, you have a lot of people now that, the paranormal investigation is all about, filming and creating content for YouTube and so on and so on. I've never been a mind and sound of that. I mean, yeah, it's great to sort of share what I experienced, but I don't know if I would call that a true paranormal investigation. But I don't know if it might give it sort of an advantage on a different level, but not necessarily with actual investigating the paranormal.
We caught her typing.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I'm just saying hello to a guest right there. So, what about the debunking side, Steve? Do you strongly feel that you need to debunk your own evidence?
I do. I don't necessarily believe in wholeheartedly debunking. I mean, scrutinizing, absolutely. You have to be sensible. You have to be responsible about what you're presenting to people as a lot of people will say evidence. Especially if you don't have the knowledge to fully understand it yourself.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, if you don't know it yourself, then how could you present it as a finding or evidence? You really need, if you have something that is you think is of interest that might actually be something, I think present it to people who are in the know in certain areas. Like I said, photography or an audio engineer or whatever that will know of phenomena. I mean, there are phenomena out there that we don't understand in layman's terms that a lot of these experts have knowledge on. And I think you need to employ that before you flat out, make claims of the paranormal.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I do agree with you. So this is going to say, so with the years of experience investigating, do you, like when I first started, there wasn't, I mean, I have to say I didn't really debunk as much as I should have now. But back then there wasn't any like, it wasn't questionable like what you filmed and what you got on camera, etc. Do you feel that within throughout the years that the debunking side is more stronger?
I don't know if it's stronger. It's more present. It's louder because of the platform. The platform is there for them to be louder now than as opposed to before. And does that make it right? No. I mean, again, you have to question the people who are doing the debunking as well. I mean, you look at their backgrounds and say, what gives you the right to say that something's not paranormal when you don't have the background to, back it up, really? And it's not to say that I slam. I'm not slamming all debunkers. No, I mean, it is necessary, just like anything else. You need to have, something to sort of weed out the inconsistencies of the paranormal. Because, I mean, the paranormal is like the Wild West right now. So, absolutely, you need those guys, these people out there saying, look at, question it. You have to question it. You have to question everything. And I think, if anything, that should be the place to question it rather than deter it. I mean, deterring it is just like, it doesn't make anything better. Question it. If you don't agree with it, then fine. Then absolutely, that's your prerogative. But if somebody believes that they have something, and why squash it for them? I mean, it's good to say, hey, look at. And, I have people who come to me and ask me about, pictures and video and say, hey, what do I have here? And 99% of the time you say, well, you have, you have lens flare, you have light leakage, or you have this or that. And, in the back of the mind, you're saying, I don't really want to, say you don't have anything because you feel bad.
Exactly.
But at the same time, you want to be, true to them. You want to be straight with them. And, they, most people, and that's the thing, when you get into the paranormal, you have to have a thick skin. You really do. If you can't handle criticism, then you shouldn't be doing this at all. You shouldn't. It's not a field for you to be in.
I mean, just in general, like this how I'm dressed and the character I play, I get criticism all the time. And like you said, like in the paranormal field, doing podcasting, whatever you may be doing, you need to have a thick skin, you know?
Yeah, because you're not going to make everybody happy.
No,
Exactly.
no, absolutely not.
You try to be as fair as you can.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there's always going to be a certain few that are going to be upset, and you just have to go along with it.
You're always going to have that, no matter what.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. It's just the way society is.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. That's sweet.
Hi, Alessio. He's got your back.
That's sweet. Yeah, he got my back. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Steve, what is your belief about the afterlife? Do you believe it exists?
Absolutely. I absolutely do believe something goes on. I mean, energy is infinite. Do I believe in the traditional sense that it plays out? I don't necessarily believe it in that sense, that we are dealing with the afterlife in a sense where a dead loved one. I don't believe that. I believe that when we leave this mortal coil, as we put it, we transition into a whole different sort of aspect of life. I look at ITC and I look at some of the research they did with audio, and some of this one of their co workers, if you will, had passed away, and they managed to supposedly capture him in audio explaining to people, look at, I've moved on. What you know of life isn't true, and that you are right now, how we are now, we're actually in purgatory right now. And when you pass, your physical vessel is no longer, you move on to what they call is real life. So again, we humans believe in tangibility. We believe in the physical sort of aspect of life, and we feel that once that outside that physicality, there's nothing. But that's not true. There is so much going on beyond the physicality of life that we need to understand, to fully understand, before we can sort of, understand what happens when we all pass, when our time comes, so to speak.
It makes sense. But yeah, because people have different perspectives of what happens when you pass on. I mean, I had a couple of guests that say that basically, we're part of energy. I have guests that say, that we're reincarnated. I guess we just truly won't know unless one of us unfortunately passes, and then we could tell everybody else, what's going on.
Yeah.
I'll wait on that one.
Yeah.
I mean, I always equate it to when you sit there and you read something like the Tibetan Book of the Dead. And I always bring this up because it makes so much sense to me that, the monks, the Tibetan monks learn that, the physical world isn't actually the end all be all. If you're able to sort of leave the physical aspects of life behind, ignore them, pain, all sorts of stuff, money, blah, 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 then when you move on or when you pass away, the physical vessel passes.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're in that transition, if you're able to leave the physical world behind, then you reach enlightenment. But if you can't leave the physical world, the physical aspects, you're reincarnated over and over again until you're able to leave the physical realm behind to reach enlightenment. And to me, that's what this is all about. To me, that's how I understand it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Very true. Very true. And it's funny. It's like everybody, like they're really materialistic as well. And,
Oh, absolutely.
and the thing is, like, when you pass, are you honestly going to be like King Tut and like have all your stuff buried with you?
And that's the problem. We are so materialistic eccentric. It's just like we can't vision a world without the physical aspects, without money, without fame or whatever. We all have to look beautiful and handsome and whatever. And you know what? Life is beyond that. True life is beyond all the physicality that we worry about.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. Do you believe in past life regression therapy?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think there's a lot to it. I wholeheartedly believe, and again, it plays in to the whole the transition. If you can't leave the physical world, I mean, if you can't leave it behind, and you come back, you have you have an essence left within you that you recall. A lot of people will say deja vu, right?
Yeah.
Deja vu, and the regression of a past life that you can't shake, but it seems so familiar and so real. And in fact, it probably was, but it's that sort of that echo of your past life saying, "Look at you'll never forget me. This little bit will always be with you."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Anything that matter does not matter. You're reset.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. If anybody has questions in the please feel free to post them with the Q, and we'll get them on and ask Steve. Do you have a favorite place that you would like to investigate that's on your bucket list?
Do you have a few hours?
I guess you have many.
There's a lot of things that over the years that I've heard. People have swore, "Oh, you got to go here, you got to go here," and I would love to visit a lot of these places and carry out a full investigation. But I think my favorite, or my sort of stick, was always about the areas that people didn't know much about.
Yeah.
That didn't have a lot of information about. And I think it's all about, trying to learn the past of a location that, to the world, the rest of the world, they don't know this place, but there's something going on, and you want to know more about it. It's like, and again, you kind of save the aspect, I mentioned this before, you go into a place that's well known, and you have to deal and weed through all the all the information that's been put out there already. Like, I mean, there's so many people have been at that location and have put all this information and their experiences and so on and so on. That really wreaks havoc on your time there. It really does. And I don't think people really get a true essence of a particular location, especially with just one visitation.
Yeah.
You need a place that you're able to visit many times
Right.
Days, weeks, months, years, whatever. I think it's all about you becoming or allowing the location to become familiar with you.
Yes,
That's actually an
definitely.
excellent way of putting it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. I had a question here. Let me see if I can grab it again. Doo-doo. Yeah, and that's the places that are around mine, they're considered, well known. They're a pretty penny to go and investigate in. So unfortunately, like groups that are like single, like myself,
Yeah.
it's hard to come up with that type of money, you know.
It is. It's tough, and that's what I mean. And that's another problem. There's a lot of places, that that charge ludicrous amounts of money, and when they charge that kind of money, it's not about. They may have this stipulation on their website or whatever. Well, it's to help us upkeep the location. How is it when you want to charge like, thousands of dollars for like
Yeah.
2 to 4 hours in a place? How has that got to do with the upkeep of the place?
Right.
I mean, when you find places that, oh, hey, $25 per person, $40 per person, whatever, something a little bit more manageable, and it's going to go right back into the funds of the upkeep of the location. It's totally different. A lot of times it's a money making scheme. They know, and people know that, but yet they still pay into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I do enjoy it when people do, and I always tell everybody this, that when you go someplace that nobody knows nothing about.
Absolutely.
I enjoy that more because we don't know the history. You don't know, the folklore or whatever that's connected with that place.
Yeah.
So I find that I wish people would start doing more of that.
Definitely. Hopefully I don't pronounce this wrong. Benno is asking, Steve, I used to do martial arts and I was so spiritual and immersed in it. I felt I could slow down time. Do you think people should detox from the social media, etc.?
Absolutely.
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 Yeah, I was gonna say that.
And it is social media is toxic. It's absolutely toxic. It is.
I know.
Yes, it is.
And it's sad how much it influences us when we go into looking at the paranormal as a whole. And I think a lot of people now, because of social media, have the wrong vision of the paranormal as a whole. Have been influenced by social media and so on and so on. Social media and influencers, to the point where it's almost like it's completely lost. When I started doing this myself, it was all about reading books. It was all about reading books. It was all about the grassroots approach, thinking logically. And all that's been taken away now because of all these parlor tricks and, all these people saying, look at, no, do this because this is the way to go and blah, blah, blah. I always say to people who are looking to get into the paranormal and doing this, you know what? Start with a fresh mind. Number one, don't let social media, don't let, the internet, don't let TV influence the way you look at the paranormal and how you want to approach it, because you're definitely going to get screwed. You're definitely going to be straight down the wrong way.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes. Yeah. Benno says, people don't read really.
No.
They miss so much.
Yeah. They haven't got a clue.
Like you said, it's a huge part of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Reading, the research, learning all of that. So that's a big, big part.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. Do you typically do research before you go into an investigation?
I think it all depends on the location. I mean, I do like having some information, depending on the location, behind me, but at the same time, I like the thought of going into, especially a lesser known location, and going in with a fresh mind and seeing what I gather, and then sort of saying, okay, then looking at, what possible information that might be out there and linking it together historically.
Yeah, because sometimes when you go into investigations and there's like a tour guide like giving you a tour and stuff, they immediately go into the paranormal aspects of it and not the history.
And that's the problem.
I usually say, no, don't tell me anything. You could tell me about the history, but that's about it.
And that's the thing. I mean, when you go into these places knowing some prior going into these places and knowing stuff, it again influences the way you look at things.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do agree with Benno. Hopefully I pronounced your name correct.
Yeah, the book is always better than the movie.
I love I love reading actual books. I mean, I do audio, especially like when I'm taking the trip back and forth from work. But I just love like the smell and the texture of like reading a book. It's pretty cool.
Yep, absolutely.
I think we have another question here. Let me just see here. Yeah, people don't read. Understand that completely. Oh, yeah. Michael has a question.
And Michael has a question.
Here we go.
Oh, no, not Michael.
I know. What was it like to experience the cryptid experience that you had back in the day?
Wow. Yeah. It was quite an experience, that's for sure. I mean, I remember where I was working the night shift, and I remember leaving work at about 2:00 in the morning, and I would always walk home, and just get the fresh air and just and this is in a suburban sort of setting.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember approaching this bridge that had it was a split bridge, one for each direction, and had a grassy knoll in between. And I remember walking up to this bridge on the one side, and then looking on the other side, I seen this animal coming up from underneath the bridge, and at first I thought it might have been a coyote or something, and then it ran to the grassy knoll and stopped because it had noticed me, and I stopped and I go, okay, I'm just gonna see what this whatever is doing. If it's a coyote, I just let it go on and take off, from so on and so on. Next thing I see is this thing standing up on its hind legs. Like, okay, that is weird. And there was a tree there, so I could sort of gauge how high or how the height of this thing. And it stood on its hind legs for a good 7 to 10 minutes. I'm like, okay, what kind of animal is able to do that? That doesn't make sense. Absolutely no animal that I can think of could stand on its hind legs that is in the area or native to this area or that area was able to do that at the time. It doesn't make sense. A mangy bear? No, it's not a mangy bear, mangy coyote, canine, whatever. It just didn't make sense. And then, after the 10 minutes had gone by, it finally dropped down to back all fours and then crossed to in front of me and then went underneath the bridge. And of course, I gingerly walked by to make sure this thing wasn't going to come back up. But, I did some research and I go, wow, this is just crazy. And, of course, I wasn't the only person that experienced this. But I remember during my time researching this, I did come along something that was called that was documented back in a major newspaper here in 1978 called the Toronto Tunnel Creature. And when I saw the picture, the artist's rendition of this, and I go, holy shit, that's exactly what I saw, minus the red eyes. I mean, if anybody knows anything about animals, and their eyes will glow like a red, luminescent red, in light. So yeah, it was just absolutely crazy. And to this day, I just, after talking to different people in veterinarians, hunters, and so on and so on, I can't equate it to anything. Do not know. Of course, a lot of people seem to think it's the dog man theory, but I couldn't tell you. I just an interesting experience, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's quite amazing. Talking about cryptids, like, do you believe in like Mothman, Bigfoot?
Yeah, I do. Some of them, I don't think I necessarily believe them all, but I mean, there are some that really do make you think. The whole Mothman, the original Mothman scenario in Point Pleasant, harbingers of disaster, if you will. Yeah, it makes you really think that, are these sort of facets of life, do they really exist? And where are their places in sort of our lives when they do play out for you? Again, does it have something to do with, the multi-dimensional sort of aspect of our lives? I mean, it's a known fact that there's, science will tell you there's a multiverse out there, and do they, they glitch and sort of interact with each other every once in a while, or are they able to do it from whatever dimension they come from? I mean, we simply just don't know. Again,
Yeah.
it's an area that we don't have all the facts with.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely. Do you believe that there's life on other planets? Like there's truly like aliens that come and visit us every now and then?
Absolutely, absolutely. I do wholeheartedly believe that we can't be the only civilized planet in the universe. In fact, one of the theories that I kind of lean back towards with the paranormal as a whole is that people that do experience these the ghosts and so on and so on, are they in fact aliens or an intelligent civilization that are interacting with us? We simply don't know.
Right.
Or if they can look just like us and basically like just adapted to our lifestyles.
And who knows, maybe they're the reasons why we are who we are today. Right?
Who's to say? Yeah, definitely.
There's always more questions upon questions.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And it's
exactly.
healthy to ask those questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm just gonna say. So, and it's interesting because there was one particular guest I had on my show, and her theory was that these cryptids that we have, basically, there's portals.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how they actually go from like our world to their world, is through the portal.
Yeah.
So, do you believe in portals?
I could give you a really interesting story about portals. And I do believe, because I remember an experience I had a few years ago where I was working, and I remember coming home from work, and again, it was late at night, and coming home, and I had a cat at the time. I came home. And I just sat on the computer and just aimlessly searching the net, just whatever, in the dark. The only illumination was from the screen. And my cat was, to my right, underneath it, lying on a mat in the lobby by the front door. And I'm just searching away on the net, just, aimlessly, mindlessly. And then all of a sudden, there was this flash or implosion of light above my cat. And I'm like, okay, maybe a light blown or something like that. And the reason why I know I wasn't seeing anything, I wasn't the only thing that experienced it, because the cat was standing up on all fours, looking up above him, freaked out. And I'm like, okay, something really did happen. What the hell? What just happened? So, me, investigating, okay, is maybe a light bulb blew or a fuse blew or the power outage or whatever, but nothing. Everything was fine. It was the weirdest thing. It was like, it was kind of like a vortex, like an implosion of energy right above the cat. It was the oddest thing. Oh, you're muted.
Sorry about that. Background noise. God, that's an amazing story, Steve.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's experiences like that keep you wondering about the paranormal.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. It keeps you hooked. That's what
it keeps you hooked. Yeah.
Because everybody goes, well, why do you do this? And I go, well, because it's the unanswered questions and it keeps you hooked.
Exactly.
Because every time you do go out or doing, like now everybody knows I do mostly cemetery stuff.
Mm.
And well, what are you going to find in the cemetery? Well, you'd be amazed at what you find in a cemetery.
Exactly.
And it's just unexplainable, and it keeps you hooked.
Yep. Absolutely.
Amazing.
Absolutely.
I want to talk a little bit about your podcast.
Sure.
So you had it for about 20 years, is it?
So Nocturnal Frequency Radio is a live radio broadcast, internet broadcast. For years, it started in 2008, and it's a result of me doing, producing a few shows, primarily the Laura Moon show back in the day, and I said to myself, I'd really like to do something myself, my own kind of radio show. And it came to be in 2008, and it's had its multiple sort of transitions over the years, but we've been going since 2008. Yeah, 3 more years, it'll be 20 years for the radio show. So
it's amazing. And I bet you it's changed so much within that amount of time.
It has. I mean, like I said, the one thing that hasn't changed is the drama.
Yeah.
But I mean, for the most part, yeah, it you know what it is? It's the different things within the paranormal that have trend, and things that, that the paranormal field knew about back in the day have now been, kind of explained. And it's really neat to see that transition, to better understanding certain things. And I think if anything, myself and Alex, my co-host, about the show, it's that it's not that we've become so vain to it. It's just that we've learned so much and have been able to explain so much, and have met so many interesting people and their views, and so on and so on, that things have really, really changed in the fact that it's I think the innocence of the paranormal is non-existent now. It's gone. And you're weeding, you're sort of trending these waves of exactly, drama, and it's really, really sad. People are more worried about the likes and subscribes, and and not really presenting the truth about the paranormal. Exactly. It's not about the paranormal anymore. It's about their individual perception of wanting people to like them and to to recognize them, and that's not what it's about.
Yeah, and make that
Yeah.
money.
It's a much bigger thing than any of us, than all of us.
Yeah.
And
And I know that you've hesitated to be monetized on your channel.
yeah,
And I can see the reasons why,
yeah, I mean, I don't want to do it. We've never ever wanted to monetize. We never ever wanted to make money. Any money that we've made over the years, what little we have, has gone right back into running the show.
Right.
Mhm.
We don't walk away with any of this at all, and we continue to have that philosophy, because the reason why we've done it is because people are interested in wanting us to do it, and we've had our regulars over the years that continuously stop by and say, hey, look at bang, and that's the way we continue. I mean, it's not about the money for us in doing this. It never has been.
Absolutely. Like I
Right.
love like connecting with like people from all around the world to hear their stories and, just to interview them and get to know them. But a lot of people don't realize as well as how much work it is just to go live, to put out a video.
Right, just to do a show.
It's just a lot of work, like, and the social media that comes into an effect as well. I mean, granted, we need to be on social media to promote and, work with our thumbnails, etc. But, it's a lot of work of what we do.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Right.
it's a lot of work. It's like, okay, do I want to go and do I mean, we're the show itself is live every Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But I mean, that doesn't say that I don't mind going on, and just, hey, look I got some time. Let's do a
go
live
on,
and just interact with people. I love interacting with people. I love talking with people about this and whatever else. I mean, I love it. And I think it is really important and healthy to get what everybody what their take of the paranormal is, what they get out of the paranormal, what their thoughts about the paranormal. I mean, I'm not an expert, and I don't think anybody is an expert when it comes to the paranormal. I mean, I don't think anybody will ever be an expert, and we're all in this together. We're all students. We're always
Right.
constantly learning, and people need to take that sort of attitude. Once they stop taking that attitude, things change.
Yes, definitely. And as well, there is a financial part of it as well, but that's not the main reason why we do it. We do it because we want to connect with people and we love what we do.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What is your goal for, investigating in your podcast in the future? Do you have any goals? For 2026, it's coming right around the corner.
Shh, don't say that.
I know, hey, 2026. With the podcast, well, with Nocturnal Frequency Radio, I think Alex and I would like to start doing a lot more. Like we're doing live on locations.
Nice.
And
We need to get Alex to smile more.
Yeah,
Yes.
Alex is stone faced. And I've had a lot of people. Is he awake? Is he still awake?
Is he awake?
He's awake. He's a guy that he absorbs a lot of information.
This is the guy in the corner.
He absorbs, and when you get him going, you get him heated. Oh man, look out! You awaken the beast.
Let it loose. The Kraken.
But I think we're looking at doing more live in locations. We used to do a place called the Hamilton Guest House, and it was really neat because I remember we did a couple shows live in there, and it was really cool to have a live audience. I really enjoy that. Having a live audience makes things so much more different, and it makes it more worth doing. And I remember after one of the shows that we had done, the first show that we had done live on location with the live audience, we had somebody come up to us and ask us if we can have if he can have our autographs, and we're like,
Oh, that's cool.
absolutely sure, yeah, this is cool. I came all the way from India. I've been listening and following you guys all the way from India. I live here now, but when I first started listening to you guys when I lived in India, and I'm like, wow, that is
amazing.
so cool.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
You know, the reach that, these kind of shows get. I mean, people don't realize, you know.
Ozzy got the squeaky toy.
Yeah,
Oh, Ozzy, he's so big now.
He's here.
He's a big boy now.
I
Yeah.
recognize the squeak.
Oh,
So cute.
yeah. So,
So cute.
oh yeah,
Adorable.
he's a big boy now.
Yeah. So for 2026, you're going to do more lives. That's great.
Would love to do
Anything
more
else?
live audiences.
Yeah.
And I think with the channel, with the YouTube channel, I'd like to do more content creation. I'd like to bring more content creation into it over the lives, with the radio show itself. I'd love to bring more content into it. I know a lot of people love to share their investigations and so on and so on. I think I'm looking to sort of share something a little bit more in depth, more different, more, sort of look at in your face when it comes to going into a location that's apparently haunted. I want to give you like a firsthand look at, no, I'm not, there's no, there's no faking any of this. I'm not faking any of it. This is real.
Yeah, raw and in your face. Yeah.
This is what the TV shows won't show you the edits. Well, here's the edits. All right.
Yeah, I can't see you running.
Here's the stuff that's unedited, the real stuff, right?
That's what we'd like to see.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah. I have to get more into that as well. It's probably one of my goals for 2026 as well. I mean, I want to basically say, for example, I go to the SK Pierce mansion. I want to be able to like interview the owners that are there now and then go into the investigation. So that's what my goal is for 2026, and to do more like videos and stuff like that too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
It's fun. Like I said, people there, you don't realize, for the most part, that what you do, people enjoy. And I think a lot of times you sit there and go, do people enjoy this? Like, you people do. I mean, people, and people just don't realize how much you affect others' lives by providing something, and I think it's great. It's great to share, stuff like that.
And lives are raw, so people get to see everything right then and there versus putting up a video and possibly editing it and stuff like that.
Oh, I prefer live. I prefer on hand and saying, like, the one thing I do miss with the live show now is we don't have a dedicated phone line. We used to have a dedicated phone line, and I absolutely loved the calling.
Yeah, that's great.
Sure, some of it there was a lot of cranks, and they were entertaining. They really were. I mean, we used to broadcast between 11 p.m. and 1 a.m. in the morning. So you can only imagine the kind of calls that we used to get.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Oh, that's pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
Was it like a dedicated like another type of like a paid phone, or was it like?
No, it was a dedicated phone line. I mean, we quite simply, it was a 1-800 number that you could call, and bang, you'd be live on the show.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yep.
That is very cool.
Well, I'd love to bring that back, but things have changed, obviously. But we're constantly looking at the possibility of bringing that back. I think that's
It'd be
essential.
Nice.
Yeah.
I had a prepaid phone specifically for the group that I used, but then that kind of like went out the door. Yeah. I honestly don't have a dedicated phone number, so that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, guys, it's been an hour. Time flies, right?
Yeah, it does.
Right?
It certainly does.
Steve, why don't you shout out your channels and where everybody could find you?
Well, you can find Nocturnal Frequency Radio here on YouTube. Obviously, just type in Nocturnal Frequency Radio or youtube.com/@ Nocturnal Frequency. New Visions Radio Network. We're still there for the time being. And of course, we have our Facebook and Discord as well. You just go into Nocturnal Frequency Radio and you can find us there. And Southern Ontario Paranormal Society is sopsinvestigations.com. And again, on Facebook at Sops Investigations.
That's awesome. Now, do you have something going on this afternoon, tonight?
Absolutely. We got our very first nocturnal gathering. And basically we're going to be celebrating the 20th anniversary of Southern Ontario Paranormal Society.
Oh, so we all
That's
got to go hang out for the gathering.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So that's later on tonight. So we're Alex and I are looking to do this as an annual thing. So we're going to, expand it. This year was kind of more of an intimate thing, but I think next year we're going to open it up and say, hey, look at, this is something we'd love to do on a yearly basis.
That's awesome.
That'd be great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, everybody, please check Steve out and follow him on YouTube, Facebook. Thank you for being on the show, Steve. And we're just going to wrap things up and we'll see you in a little bit.
All right. Thank you for having me.
Thank you,
Thank
Steve.
you. That was amazing.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, I love Steve.
I do too.
I love the way he thinks about the paranormal and how he puts a different page to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
And yeah, we just got to work on getting Alex to smile more. And
yes. He does. Well, he does talk, but
yeah, we just got to get the smiling. And
very,
I love to tease that, but
yeah,
you guys got to check them out tonight. It's
definitely,
it's gonna be awesome. The gathering, it's really cool.
So I want to thank our noble guest Steve for sharing his wisdom and walking with us through the shadows. To all our viewers, your presence is the magic that keeps this hour alive. Magic is not the trip of light. It's the truth that dances in shadows. Until next time, stay curious, stay brave, and stay enchanted. Yes. We'll talk to you later.
Bye, everybody. Thanks.